Hey guys, how's it going? So, welcome back, people. I'm here to talk about Arsenal, as always, but also to just maybe reflect a little bit more broadly about what's been happening in the Premier League since it's begun in terms of the 2021/22 season. Correction, 2022/23 season? Yeah, guys, I'm losing track of the years. So, yeah, 22/23. So, Arsenal, we've just beaten Leicester 4-2, and it was a convincing victory. The biggest standout headline was the performance and output of Gabriel Jesus, the new signing, and it really does feel like something special is brewing, simmering at the Emirates. And we spoke about this in the last video, how Arsenal seem like they're building momentum. It seems like there's a real energy, a forward thrust in terms of the direction of travel that Arsenal are undertaking at the moment. Obviously, we've just seen the Amazon Prime documentary All or Nothing being released, and although I haven't seen the episodes yet, I've seen snippets and I've read about it, and it sounded really positive. So Arteta very much getting an alternative, outside the box approach to his man management, to his interpersonal skills, to how he's motivating his players. So getting a bit of togetherness going with the team huddles, with the holding hands, with the music, playing the "You'll Never Walk Alone" theme tune of Liverpool before the Liverpool game. Quirky tactics, and also some very strong and decisive actions that he's taken. Obviously referencing the Aubameyang decision to take the captaincy off Aubameyang and to move forward in another direction. And it kind of feels like that's come a bit full circle. So although that documentary was largely recorded, a year ago to about 6 months ago, up until the end of last season, we can see the fruits of the changes, of the improvements, of the adjustments that Arteta wanted to make to the culture of the dressing room, to the relationships between the players. We're seeing more than ever a very united Arsenal, a very cohesive Arsenal. The fans at the Emirates Stadium in yesterday's 4-2 win against Leicester were absolutely phenomenal. They were completely supporting the team. They were 100% behind everyone out there. When William Saliba scored his own goal, there was a big round of applause. Everyone at the Emirates was really recognising the importance that they can play in motivating and inspiring the team to greater heights, because I think we feel as a collective that Arsenal are on the cusp of something special. Now, we don't know what that something special means, what that something special will end up being. Will it be something ridiculous like a Premier League title? That's the question we're asking ourselves, and I'm not discounting that. I said in my last video it was too early to call Arsenal or to say Arsenal were going to win the league with any degree of confidence, but I don't think we can dismiss it either. I think Arsenal are in that mode now where they're starting to show signs that they can really mix it with the best teams in the league. And whilst they haven't played the best teams in the league yet this season, we have seen just a sense that Arsenal are looking formidable. There's a flow, there's a connection between the different elements on the pitch. So just to pick a few points out, guys, obviously Zinchenko has signed from left back, and we see him often coming into midfield when Arsenal are in possession, which gives Granit Xhaka the licence to push forward, and we've seen him have a number of shots on goal. He scored against Leicester. Similarly with the forward-thinking players, we've got Gabriel Martinelli has been extraordinary, guys. He was unbelievable against Leicester. What a player. An outstanding left-footed drive from outside the box to make it 4-2. yesterday, but he's so effervescent out there on the pitch. You cannot contain him. He's an uncontainable energy. You either foul him or he goes past you. It's that kind of feeling. He really gives fullbacks a headache. And that's great because Bukayo Saka's maybe been slightly quieter these last 2 games, but that's okay because we've got Martinelli causing teams headaches. We've got Gabriel Jesus causing teams headaches. So we're seeing that Arsenal have threats from all different angles, and they've got people who can link it. So Martin Odegaard can link the play, and players coming off the bench who are starting to really demonstrate Arsenal's strength in depth. Tomiyasu and Tierney, 2 of the best fullbacks in the Premier League, coming off the bench. Now that is incredible strength in depth. Smith Rowe and Nketiah coming off the bench looking hungry. We saw how good Nketiah was in pre-season, and he's only had like 8 minutes against Palace and 8 minutes against Leicester in this recent game, and he's looking really sharp. And you feel like Arteta wants to give Nketiah more game time, but at the moment it's working so well with his first choice players, with Saka, with Martinelli, Odegaard and Jesus. So wow, people, Arsenal are really, really looking very strong this season. And yes, it's 2 games in. Yes, we can't draw any conclusions. And yes, there's going to be twists and turns. There's going to be U-turns as well in terms of people's evaluations of where Arsenal are. But I've just got this feeling, people, that Arsenal are going to be in a title run for a good portion of the season. Whether it sustains itself throughout the duration of the 38 games, that's a different question. Because we even saw last season, the last 4 games, Arsenal just ran out of a little bit of steam. But, wow, they're looking very strong as things stand. Where does it leave them in terms of the Premier League pecking order? So, the way I see it, people, is Manchester City deservedly are considered the favourites for this title, the Premier League title. I think they are the best team, in my opinion, the best team in Europe. Yes, Real Madrid won the Champions League last year, but I just feel Manchester City have an incredible system. They're so well coached by Pep Guardiola. They've got a number of attack-minded players that just orchestrate these incredible sequences and passing moves that bring different players into it, and they've got goal threats from all across the attacking areas. So I think Manchester City have to be the favourites. However, one thing to consider with Manchester City is, are they slightly light on numbers? So they've obviously sold Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal. They've sold Alexander Zinchenko to Arsenal. They've sold Raheem Sterling to Chelsea. And there's rumours that Bernardo Silva is hoping to move to Barcelona. So is that going to leave Manchester City a little bit light on numbers? Do they have the same formidable nature about them? Are they as formidable as they were last season? I would say absolutely, because they've got Erling Haaland, absolute game changer, a goal scorer, phenomenal goal scoring talent. They've got Phil Foden, they've got Riyad Mahrez, they've got Jack Grealish, who you'd expect to be better this year. They've got obviously Rodri and Phillips in terms of a more defensive, pragmatic mindset, that they'll sit a little bit deeper in their midfield. So they have got excellent players, there's no doubt about it. So you have to say Manchester City are the favourites. But if you look at teams that could challenge them, yes, Liverpool are very good. We know Liverpool are an outstanding team, but I've just seen signs that maybe Liverpool might struggle to replicate the relentlessness they showed last year. Of course, they were nearly in an unprecedented quadruple bid in terms of winning 4 trophies. So of course it's going to be difficult to replicate that. But even from a point of view of how a team will feel when they face Liverpool, I think they might feel like they've got more of a chance this year. And I'm going a little bit here, guy. I'm jumping the gun. I haven't got enough evidence. And of course, Liverpool could show themselves to be just as strong as last year. But just not having Mane, I think, is a huge loss for Liverpool. I think he's such a threat, and he's a very technically gifted player, but also a physically imposing player. I remember he gave Ben White a real tough time in a couple of the games last season. Just his speed and his the quickness of his feet. He's very good dribbler. So I feel like Liverpool are going to miss Mane, and also Thiago, their main midfielder, along with Fabinho. But Thiago is injured for 6 weeks. So just a couple of little chinks there that you might say, could that contribute to Liverpool starting slowly? Time will tell, but I think it might. And then you look at Tottenham. Tottenham are a wonderful team, and I think Tottenham and Arsenal are going to be the two teams that really put pressure on Man City and Liverpool, but particularly Man City in this title race. I think people might reevaluate who the main threats are to Man City. Maybe it might come from North London. Maybe it could be Arsenal and Tottenham. We shall see, people. And with the instability going on at Chelsea, obviously the change of ownership, for me, Thomas Tuchel is not doing a great job as things stand. Like, and I know people will disagree with that, because I know Tuchel has a lot of fans, but I just look at him and I think he's not really finding a very functional attack. It doesn't seem like the attack is creating much. They seem a little bit devoid of thrust and just cutting edge. There just seems to be some element of dysfunctioning in their forward line. We'll see. Again, people, I'm prepared to eat my words. It might end up being a title race between City, Liverpool and Chelsea, and Tottenham and Arsenal aren't figuring. And obviously, from my point of view, Arsenal in particular might not live up to the hype that I'm trying to generate, or that I'm seeing. I'm not even trying to generate it, I'm actually speaking authentically. So how will Arsenal go, people? Let's finish it up on that. We reviewed a little bit about the other teams in the mix, but Arsenal are very much in there. Mikel Arteta is smiling. He looks happy. The fans are buoyant. The players are at home and are expressing themselves. They look like they're free and uninhibited. And that's another contrast, I feel, with maybe Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel's players. They don't seem to be expressing themselves with the same freedom as what we're seeing from Arsenal. And I think that is a huge difference. So, guys, Arsenal, I'm really confident, I'm really upbeat about how they're going to go here, people, this season. I really am. I'm curious to hear, do you echo my sentiments? Are we getting a bit ahead of ourselves? Yes, we are. That is the answer to that question. We are potentially getting ahead of ourselves in sensing that Arsenal could mount a challenge. But is there sufficient evidence to suggest that even if we are getting slightly ahead of ourselves, there is justifiable validation for that sentiment, because Arsenal are moving forward, moving in the right direction. Okay, people, hope you enjoyed the video. Love the dialogue, guys. Keep it coming. Keep giving your thoughts, and I'll be looking forward to doing more of these videos in what promises to be, people, the best Premier League season ever. I genuinely believe it could be that. I'm so excited. And Arsenal Football Club, whisper it, guys. They're coming. All right, people. Peace.